Took a little bit longer than I thought it was going to take, but the Birds end up handling business. 7-2-10 against the A's. Phase 2 of 3 is complete. Let's talk about it and have a mound visit. Let's go O's! What's going on, Birdland? Baltimore Bops here, and welcome to the Baltimore Bops YouTube channel where we discuss all things Baltimore Orioles. I'm your host, Bops, and in this episode, we're going to talk about the 7-2 Baltimore Orioles win against the Oakland Athletics in Game 2 out in Oakland. And, man, this started off as a stinking real pitcher's duel, if you will. Cole Irvin comes in, has another stellar 5 innings for the Birds, only gives up 1 earned run. And you can't say enough about Cole Irvin and what he's been able to accomplish his last couple of times out. He's only gone 5 innings, but it's back-to-back 5 innings where they put him in that spot and he actually delivers. So you really got to tip your cap to Cole Irvin and what he's been able to do when he's given his opportunities. So let's get into the box score. Baltimore has 7 runs on 9 hits, 0 errors. Oakland has 2 runs on 6 hits, 1 error. And the Birds get 5 in the top half of the 10th because obviously it goes in extra innings and it's a 2-2 tie. So they kind of broke the game open, if you will, in the 10th inning. So let's get into the hitters. Adley Rutschman goes 0 for 3, scores a run because he does draw 2 walks, one thing that he's really good at. Mountie goes 1 for 3, also has 2 walks. He has a run and a ribby. Gunnar Henderson goes 1 for 4. Jordan Westburg in the cleanup spot goes 0 for with the RBI. Austin Hayes goes 1 for 4 with 2 RBIs. Cedric Mullins goes 2 for 4. James Stinkin' McCann goes 2 for 5 with 3 RBIs. And he hits that big home run earlier in the game. And Ryan McKinney goes 2 for 3. Ryan O'Hearn goes 0 for 2. Jorge Mateo goes 0 for 3, even though he hit one, just hit the screws off of one man, and it was just right to the third baseman. And then Frazier goes 0 for 1 with a run. Back to James McCann. Every time James McCann is in the baseball game, he seems to have a really good outing. I mean, I don't know if it's just me, but, I mean, his bat is really coming alive. He's elevated his batting average up to 243. That doesn't sound great, but considering how it was in the beginning of the season, and he's gotten a little bit more burn, so that bat is really starting to get into the zone, and he's making really good contact. But he goes 2 for 5 with 3 RBIs, and he hits a solo shot earlier in the ballgame, man. And then he also threw out a runner at second base, which is something that, unfortunately, Adley, it hasn't been very many of those this year from behind the plate. So, I mean, James looked real good from both sides. And so you got to tip your cap to him, somebody who's not getting everyday play. Obviously, whenever there's a lefty pitcher on the hill, Brandon Hyde wants to get as many right-handed bats in there as possible. So Adley will DH. McCann will come in and catch behind the plate. You'll see Jorge Mateo come in spots because they just want to get those right-handed batters in. And I just really liked seeing what James McCann was doing on both sides of the plates, man. He always calls a really good baseball game. His bat's coming alive, and you can't just steal on him. He threw out Ruiz in the first inning after Cole Irvin let off by hitting him in the arms. So, hey, tip your cap to James McCann, man. He is one of those unsung heroes, if you will, that we don't talk about enough. So, into the Orioles pitching, like I said, Cole Irvin goes 5 innings, 4 hits, 1 run earned, 1 walk, 3 Ks. He gives up the solo shot to Diaz, which Diaz had a stinking phenomenal game on both sides as well, out at third base and behind the plate. He ended up having 2 home runs. So Cole Irvin, once again, 5 innings, only gives up 1 run. That's exactly what you need him to do. You can't ask for anything more than that. Then Fuji comes in. Birds are up 2-1. And once again, the enigma of Shintaro Fujinami. So, Fuji comes in. He gets a first out pop-up to right. Okay? And then he throws a splitter that just hangs belt high and Diaz smacks it over the left field wall. And, it's unfortunate for Fuji because his stuff is so good, man. I mean, he's throwing 100, 101. When the splitters got real good action, it's just dive bombing in the zone. It's a real tough pitch to hit. But it's almost like Felix Bautista's situation where, sometimes they'll elevate that splitter and then it becomes kind of like a batting practice fastball that people will turn on, man. And so he comes in and he gets the blown lead, gives up a hit, 1 run earned, and it's obviously off of Diaz's home run. And then he's able to strike out 2 himself. So Yennier Cano comes in after that. He pitches an inning and a third, looks real good. Gives up only 1 hit, 1 K. CNL Perez comes in a big spot. He goes 2/3, does give up a walk, but he also has 2 strikeouts. And one of those strikeouts was to get out of the inning with runners on first and second. So CNL looked real good. That bodes well for the future whenever he can have a real good outing. And then Felix came in and he locked down the 9th, striking out 1, had an inning pitch, and he ends up actually getting the win tonight because Fuji couldn't hold it for Cole Irvin. So Felix Bautista moves to 8-2, and then Webb comes in and he pitches an inning. It got a little hairy, but the Birds had a 7-2 lead. So he ends up striking out 3 and looked real good. And those last 3 batters, I mean, he looked real stinking good. And he's become a really big asset for this Baltimore Orioles baseball team, man. You can't say enough about Webb and what he's done since he's come over. So it takes 10 innings. It's 2-2 going into the 10th, and it's kind of a little bit more baseball than you want to play. But the main thing is the Birds are able to get through Game 2 with the W. That is the most important thing because, like I've said in earlier videos, we have got to string together wins while we can. So Tampa Bay actually split a doubleheader with the Angels. So with the Birds winning, they moved to 76-47, and they currently have a 2.5 game lead over the Tampa Bay Rays. And they'll play Game 3 and try to sneak and finish this thing out today against the Oakland Athletics. 4:07, first pitch. Kyle Bradish will take the hill for the Birds, and J.P. Sears, another lefty, will take the hill for the A's. Sears is 2-9 with a 4.27 ERA and a 1.16 WHIP. So it'll be interesting to see if the Birds can sneak and accomplish the mission. Like I've said before, there's no reason why we should not sweep the Oakland Athletics. They're 34-89. They're moving. They did have 18,000 people show up at the baseball game, so kudos to the Oakland faithful that they would still come out and support that team given the circumstances. But there is no reason that we should not beat the Oakland Athletics. So Birds 4:07. We'll go and see if they can complete phase 3, if you will, before they come back home. And hey, big baseball, man. Cole Irvin pitches well. Stinking James McCann is a hero from both sides of the plate, and then the Birds are able to string together hits all throughout the lineup, man. So one more game, guys. Phase 2 complete, and then I would say that this has been a successful West Coast trip. Right now we are 5-3. 6-3 is a successful West Coast trip all stinking day long. So 4:07, Birds, A's, Kyle Bradish, J.P. Sears, Game 3, last game of the West Coast trip. Hey, let's get it done, baby. We'll catch you on the next one, Birdland.